Did you know that you can retire by the time you turn 45? I know it sounds ridiculous and almost impossible, but hey, welcome to the 21st century where all things are possible. Did I mention that there are a lot of young people, and I'm talking people in their 30s, who have already retired? Yep. So what's going to stop you from retiring by the time you turn 45? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple steps how to retire by the time you turn 45. The average retirement age is usually 60 for women and 65 for men. I know in some part of the world, the retirement age is 63 for women, I think, and 65 for men. I'm not quite sure there, but in South Africa, it's 60 for women and it's 65 for men. So I decided to do a financial advice video, and I decided that it's not going to be too serious, but serious at the same time, if that makes any sense, because we are in December of 2020, and then we all know that 2020 was a year from hell, and it really was not a year that anybody anticipated. With all the plans and resolutions that we've made to 2020, they never came to pass. So before I go on, hey, let me introduce myself. My name is Ntutugo D, and I'm the guy who wants you to avoid the unemployment line at the end of the global pandemic by starting your own YouTube channel and make money. Now, with that aside, let's get into the crux of the matter, how you can retire by the time you turn 45. It doesn't matter what age you are at this point in time. Maybe if you're already 45 years old, this video may not necessarily be for you, but it's necessary enough for you to actually consider retiring maybe before you turn 60 or 65 or 63. I just want us to start 2021 on a plan on how we are going to make money, whether it's starting from scratch or picking up from where you left off, or just continuing with what you've got, because I know a lot of people, after lockdowns were over, a lot of people went back to work and their salaries were cut either in half or by 70% or about or 30% or whatever the case was, and millions of more people actually lost their jobs because the businesses they were used to work for have closed doors, or they were retrenched or let go, or whatever the case was. We all have a different story to tell due to the global pandemic and how it affected our lives negatively. So this video is basically to give you some sort of ideas with the money you've got right now. If you are still employed, what you ought to be doing with that money so that you invest for the long term, basically targeting to retire by the time you turn 45 years of age. You've got to let go of all the typical stuff that you were taught when you were growing up. I don't know about your culture, but in my culture, we were taught to go to school, finish high school, and go to college. After college, graduate, get your degree, and find a job, and then basically that's the job that you are going to work for from the time you graduated from college all the way to retirement age, which in my case would have been 65. So there is definitely no way that I am going to retire by the time I turn 65. I would like to travel the world. I want to see the 7 wonders of the world. I would like to see some places in the world that I've been dreaming of visiting, and I would like to start doing that by the time I turn 45. Yes, I'm still a few years away from 45. I guess the reason why the average retirement age is 60 or 63 or 65, it's because at this point in time in your life, you have raised a family, most of your kids have already gone to college, perhaps already graduated and working themselves, and then you retire from work, and then you begin to enjoy the fruit of your labor for the past 40, 50, whatever years you started working. Unfortunately, you can't retire if you do not have enough money to live on for the rest of your life. Most people that retire from work are people that have enough money to carry them throughout the rest of their lives. I am sure you have heard some financial gurus crunching the numbers for us, that how much we will need in order for us to retire at the age of 63 or age of 65 or 60. But in this case, we are going to use what is called the 45x rule. Some call it the 30x rule, others call it the 20x rule. It all depends on your target age that you want to retire. For the benefit of this video, we are going to use the 45x rule in order to determine how much money we are going to need in order to retire at the age of 45. So suppose you are 35 years old and you want to retire in 10 years time. You will have to apply the 45x rule in order for you to retire at age 45. If you want to retire at the age of 30, you are going to use the 30x rule in order for you to retire at the age of 30. If you want to retire at the age of 25, obviously you are going to use the 25x rule in order for you to retire at the age of 25. I'm sure you get the picture. So what does the 45x rule mean? Basically, it means that if you save 45 times of your annual living expenses, you could live off that money for the rest of your life. So the 45x rule, so it all begins with simple mathematics where you are going to calculate how much money do you spend annually. So obviously we are speaking about your annual living expenses here. So you are going to calculate all of that. So that includes your entertainment. It's going to include your fuel or gas. It's going to include your installments, loans. It's going to include your vacations, your clothing, transportation, you name it. All that stuff you are going to calculate in order for you to determine how much money do you spend in totality per annum. So this brings me to step number 1. Cut expenses. But there are other things that are unnecessary that you are spending money on, and I am going to mention these things, and unfortunately some of these things are not going to make you happy. But in order for you to retire at the age of 45 by using this fire 45x rule, you will have to do some sacrifices, and we all know nobody likes to sacrifice anything. But the best thing about sacrificing something, at the end of the day, you're the one who benefits and enjoys the fruit of your sacrifices. This is going to need a person who is disciplined with finances and also willing to cut back on some things and sacrifice others. So I know this is going to rattle some cages, but you want to retire at 45, right? Then you need to listen up, because this is definitely for you. If you think you are a person that does not like to sacrifice things, maybe this video is definitely not for you, and we will see you when you retire at 65 years of age. Some of us are going to retire at age 45 and live our best life. Get rid of things that are unnecessary, yet you are paying for them. For example, what value does having a DSTV premium will add to your life? There are over 900 channels. Do you watch all 900 channels per month? I doubt that. Therefore, is it necessary for you to have DSTV premium that you pay every single month? I don't think so. Oh, by the way, DSTV in some part of the world is called cable. Is cable TV worth having and paying all that money if you want to retire by the age of 45? And I'm saying it is unnecessary expense that is pulling you back from growing your wealth. Is drinking 10,000 Rand worth of alcohol per month that worth it? Again, I did say this is going to rattle your cage, but I think it's ridiculous that you would spend $50,000 a year on alcohol. $50,000. Yes, there are people that spend between $50,000 to even $75,000 per annum just on alcohol alone. So if you can imagine that $50,000, what it could do for you if you multiply it 45 times. If it's $70,000 just alcohol alone and you multiply that by 45 times, is that not $2.7 million? Is that not retirement money? So just think about that. I'm just teasing your mind a little bit here, Remember, we are just having a conversation. It's not serious yet serious. On what are you going to cut down on or sacrifice completely? There is nothing wrong with you changing your car from a Mercedes or BMW or an Audi or whatever it is that you are driving to a Kia Picanto or to a Suzuki Swift or into a Chevrolet Classic or a Corolla for that matter. I think you see where I'm going with this. Gas consumption. Your salary per year is 50,000, yet per year your living expenses are at $60,000. You multiply that by 45, you get $2.7 million. If my math is serving me correctly, $2.7 million is what you are going to walk away with by the time you turn 45, and that is your retirement money. I don't know if I'm making sense, because this is the only best way I can explain this to you. This is provided that you have done some cut down of expenses, and these cut downs must be drastic cut downs. Do not move into an expensive area where you are going to be expected to pay large sums of money in rental. Rather live near where you work, or you can live in a commune, or I'm talking to young people here, people that just graduated from varsity, just got a job. Do that. Cut off going to bars and clubs and things of that nature. Don't go eat out at restaurants, rather eat home cooked meal. If you are not good at cooking, maybe this is the time you start learning how to cook, because you got a goal in mind. Maybe you want to retire at age 30. So you take whatever salary you are earning, you look at your expenses, and then you multiply that by 30. And then let's say your living expenses is $70,000, then you have 2.1 million. Wait, something's not right with my calculations. $65,000. $60,000 will be 65,000 multiplied by 45. There is no way is $2.7 million, because $2.7 million is something else. But anyways, if you get the idea, do not live extravagantly, because if you do, you are not going to retire at that target age. As controversial as what I am saying may be, but I am not selling you rainbows and unicorns here, because let's be honest, if you are not disciplined with what I'm saying, you are not going to retire at the age of 45. It's going to need you to take drastic decisions in order for you to do that. So this journey needs a complete transformation of your mindset, as well as the way you used to do things with your family. If you have a family, if you don't have a family, then this becomes a little bit easier, but it's still tough to accomplish. But at the same time, it's a food for thought, because you have to take drastic action in order for this to work. Which brings me to step number 2: increase your income. So if you got family members that are unemployed and yet you are sending money for their livelihood, then perhaps it's a time where you advise them to start their own YouTube channels. Because if they grow their YouTube channels by being consistent in uploading videos on their channels, they are going to make money eventually from YouTube. If they meet the 2 thresholds of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And then I'm still going to say the same thing. If you are working, in order for you to increase your income, create a YouTube channel as a side hustle where you are going to make money out of Google AdSense and other benefits that comes with being a YouTuber. There are online opportunities. There are all kinds of opportunities that are out there. All you have to do is look for these opportunities in order for you to make money. So if you come from the low income bracket, you need to think outside the box. You need to educate yourself about a whole host of things. We are moving into the 4th industrial revolution, which is going to be highly digitalized, And if you are not going to bother yourself about the digital world, then you are going to be left behind. You are going to be stuck in a rut. So start now to bother yourself about technology and how you can utilize technology to increase your income. YouTube is a digital platform that you can make money out of. There are a lot of other things, digital marketing. There are affiliate marketing. You can blog if you are good in writing or you have something to say. Whatever passion you have, you can turn your passion into an income stream. So just think outside the box, turn your talent into an income stream. You may have a different skill, use your skill and get some income out of it. About 8 years ago, I started a house sitting company where I was house sit people's houses when they wanted to go out for vacation overseas. So I used to earn something like $2,000 per house. I can assure you that house sitting is not just house sitting alone. You don't just sit back and just guard a house not to get broken into or whatever the case is. There is a lot of stuff that needs to be done because these people, they will leave you with their animals. These animals need to be fed, washed, and made sure that they are kept healthy and happy. Dogs need to be walked, cats needs to be all that sort of stuff. Protect them from running into the streets and getting knocked down by cars. As well, you need to, in other cases, you need to supervise the ground staff that come on certain days to do either the swimming pool or the garden or whatever the case will be. And that is not easy. On top of that, you still have to clean the house now and again. You have to water the plants inside the house and make sure basically that the house is exactly the way they left it. And I can tell you it's a lot of hard work, which at the end of the day, the $2,000 that they pay you is worth it. Basically, you do all the hard work while they're sitting in Dubai basking in the sun. So I'm giving you a business idea that you can run with. You can start a house sitting business, but you need to make sure that your heart is in the right place, you are trustworthy, as well as communicative, because you are going to get variety of clients. I used to get a lot of white people back in Durban that would hire me to house sit their homes and their animals, and that's basically how I made my living for about 4 years. And I don't think many people are aware that there is such a business idea that they can pursue. But again, you've got to be trustworthy. If you can start a car wash, you can start a lawn mowing company, you can clean windows of companies or businesses or whatever the case is. There's a lot of business ideas that you can pursue, especially if you are unemployed and you want to retire by the age of 45. There are a lot of young people who own their own car washes and cleaning companies, and they are wrecking millions of dollars as a result. Or did I mention you can even become an Uber driver? You can have a job, your day job, and then at night or weekends you drive Uber. This is a great passive income idea that I'm actually thinking about myself. I'm going to delve in several business ideas because I really want to retire by the age of 45, guys. This is serious, and then I'm just bringing it to your attention. Let who has ears hear. Once again, this is just not a serious talk, but a serious talk. So step number 3, which is a little bit complicated and involves risks. So, well, anyways, if you are not going to take risks in life, nothing is going to happen, right? This one is all about investment. And by investment, I'm not talking about the bad investment where a person who has no idea about investment and then they come and talk to you about investing your money into this scheme or that scheme. Investing in pyramid schemes or Ponzi schemes is very bad. Do not listen to people that come to you and say, hey, there is this company and you need to invest so much money in order for you to get so much money as a result. Don't do that. Rather go to professionals, go to people that have gone to school for this, qualified for it, and also have some sort of experience and record that you can see and take advice from them. These people have the know-how, and they can tell the types of stocks that you can purchase and invest in, the type of shares that you should buy and invest in, so that in the long term you come out with bags and bags of money. So you can invest in stocks and dividend stocks. Ask Warren Buffett. Think about those things, do your research, read books on stock market and dividend stocks and all that stuff. You can visit the Johannesburg Stock Exchange or the New York Stock Exchange or the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, or wherever you are in the world. That is where you are going to find people who are professionals in this type of business. Remember, the goal here is for you to retire by the age of 45. So I am also going to make a video about investing in stock market and dividend stock. And I'm going to speak to you what I'm currently investing in and why I'm investing in that type of investment. No, it's not a Ponzi scheme, it's not a pyramid scheme, it is all legit. Remember, we are about to come out of the global pandemic, and stock market, this is probably the best advice I've got for you. You will have to sit and wait for when the stock market begins to climb, and look for stocks that you think will I don't know how to explain this because I'm not a financial guru or an economist. If I was, I'll be able, but what I'm trying to say is look out for certain shares and stocks that you can invest in. Who knows? Remember, investing in stocks, anything can happen. You can lose everything because investing comes with risks. But anyways, everything that I have said thus far comes with risk because anything can happen. Look, we are in a global pandemic. Nobody knew that we are going to be in a global pandemic. Pay attention to the stock market, and you are going to get a lot of stockbrokers and economists giving advice on stocks that you need to buy in order to see yourself new millionaire or even a billionaire in the post-pandemic era. I'm definitely going to take whatever opportunities that are going to be produced by post-pandemic economic booms. For the longest time, I've always been told that real estate is where the money is at. If you can invest in real estate, then hey, go right ahead. You are not going to regret that investment. You can buy properties, flip them, resell them, you can rent them out. You can even develop property, whatever the case will be around real estate. Go and do it as long as you are able to afford that at this point, because in the long term you are going to reap the benefits. Hopefully by age 45, that will allow you to retire and enjoy your best life. Truth of the matter, guys, nobody promised us tomorrow. And definitely nobody promised us that by the age of 65 we will still be around. So in order for you to enjoy your life without worrying about too many things, maybe this is the time that you actually heeded this advice that I'm giving you in working towards retiring early so that you can enjoy the fruit of your labor. So yeah, guys, this is how you will retire at the age of 45 by using the 45x rule. And I know that I kind of like messed it up a little bit because I'm still learning about the 45x rule but hey, I'm just giving you an idea that you can retire early if you are serious about it. I'm serious about it. I hope you will also be serious about it. For the next few videos, I am going to be speaking all things finances as we move into 2021, because it's so important that we start the year with financial ideas on how we can save money, obviously saving up money as well for you to retire early, and all that sort of stuff. Those videos are definitely coming. I'm also going to speak on frugal living. or minimalistic lifestyle, those videos are definitely coming your way before the end of this year. And I'm also going to give you ideas on passive income, even though I do have videos on passive income, which is going to help you increase your wealth. I'm going to leave a card. I'm not sure if it's going to be here or this side, whichever way. There's going to be a card that's going to pop where I speak about different passive income ideas that you can utilize for 2021 going forward. Guys, let's make money in 2021. If you are unemployed or you've been affected negatively by the global pandemic, my YouTube channel targets you. It's all about giving you an idea on how you can avoid the unemployment line at the end of the global pandemic by starting your own YouTube channel, as well as making money in other ways. I speak about affiliate marketing, I speak about passive income, I speak about a lot of things all related or moving with YouTube. So that is why it's so important for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get all these tips, tricks, and hacks on how you can be successful on YouTube. So if this video has added some value to your YouTube journey, then give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to comment down below. I love hearing from you, and I also love creating YouTube videos. So I'm very grateful to everybody that is subscribing to my channel, and thank you so much for liking, because when you like my YouTube videos, you basically trigger the YouTube algorithm to say that the videos that I'm creating are adding value to people's lives. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.